Hey everybody, Eddy here for another lunch break with me is my homie, Jon Finkel. What's up, sir?
Oh man, it's one day post book launch. I'm pumped. I'm excited. It's good to be here. Thank you all for your support of this book.
You mean this book right here?
Yeah, that book.
Yeah, we can't thank everybody enough. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You guys have been great showing us the book in hand, showing the receipts, whatever the case may be. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. And also let us know where you're watching from. Let us know your thoughts on this topic. Today's topic is summer vacation plans with the kids. Obviously, we can talk about the cool places or destinations you want to go, but also too, John and I work, sometimes from home and all that. So we want to know, like, what do you do with the kids? Keep them busy so they're not bothering you during those dog days of summer. So, John, for you, what have you kind of been planning for your kids once your kids are out of school, man?
Yeah, so I've had both. So I've worked in an office for a long time, and then I worked from home for about maybe a year and a half, 2 years, and now I'm back in an office. So I've had to figure it out both ways. And I think as the kids have gotten older, mine are 6 and 8 now. We put them in like a summer camps, basically, like day camps. There's one that they do through the school system, and luckily it's like right across the street, basically. And it's like a full day, like camp care, basically. They can go in, usually drop them off like 7:30 or so, and then they come back whenever me or my wife done with work to pick them up. But the years I was home, it just became like a daily, because you work and you have to come up with that time to work, and it's almost impossible until the kids. I don't know, your kids are older, but maybe when they're 12 or 13 or a little more self sufficient. But anything under 10 or 11 years old, like you can't do both. You end up just getting flustered and frustrated, and you're asking them to not be annoying, but you also want to spend time with them because they're home. It's a whole phone booth of emotions, and you're drinking milk. It was a bad
Just
choice.
yeah, that's awesome. We got Chad Mason saying outside play in the yard. I'll definitely do that. I have my kids doing stuff inside. If I'm doing one of these shows or I'm doing an interview, I'm like, all right, kids, you guys stay inside until I'm actually out and about, so I can go with them, work on my laptop, do work for Life of Dad. So like I have that balancing act, and I'm always like, all right. And it's not always just like here, tablet time, have fun. It's like read or like create a project, do something, or a craft project or something. So for me, I still work from home, and we'll do some camps. Like now that they're a little bit older, and they're like, all right, what do you actually want to do? What like
Right.
whether it's a STEM class, whether it's it could be like a sports camp for the week. And also too, now with the kids are getting older and they're like, hey, so and so wants to go to this camp with me. Can we do that too? So like, if their friends go, not just their siblings, but their friends go to a camp, that's like, all right, sweet, I want to do that. So it kind of helps that way.
Yeah, it's hard because when you have work to do, and it doesn't, for any parent who either works from home or comes home and occasionally has stuff to do, and I try, I think we all, probably every dad listening tries like to really have a separation of work and home. Like when I come home, I really try, I just throw my phone down in a drawer for a couple hours so you're not tempted to do anything or talk about anything and just get your work done, or at least I turn off anyway. I don't have any real notifications on my phone regardless, but I think there's just that temptation of like just go watch a show or go watch Netflix, or here's a video game, or here's a tablet or whatever. And it is the easiest solution, but like it's such a crutch now. And I remember we've had two old men talking on the lawn of like, I did remember being a kid in summer, and it was basically like, here's $5 and your bike, and you're going to get a pizza and a soda at some point when you're out at, for me, Dean Park Pizza in Massachusetts. And here's a Gatorade to start your day, and make sure you're home by 5. And I do remember, like, we were gone. I mean, I swam pretty competitively for most of my life, so I would have swimming in the morning or swim camp or whatever. But I'd be home by noon, and I'd be out. My brother, he went away to sleepaway camp for 6 months. I mean, 6 weeks. He was
Yeah.
gone out of town, like, and that was something I always wanted to do, but I didn't because of the swimming. But we have a couple friends in our area, and growing up, at least like a third of my friends were 6 week full away sleepaway camp gone. And as parents, like, can you imagine? Like, I don't even know like what that's like. Like, you imagine both your kids just gone, like having a blast at camp for 6 months, and you're just home. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, right. Like, and then too, it's like with phones and technology, they can chat with you and talk. But like back in the day, it'd be like, Parents survived that?
Right? They had my parents knew. I mean, my dad works, my mom was home, so she knew there was like three places I could most likely be. Like there was a park that had there was one park that had baseball field, that and like whatever baseball field, soccer field stuff, and then another one a little farther across town that was all the basketball courts and stuff.
Yeah.
And then there was like one neighborhood that most of my friends happened to live in. But realistically, if like, and I guess it never happened, but like if my mom needed me, she was just gonna have to drive there and hope I was at one of those three places. And thinking about it now as we're even talking, parents showed up all the time to pick their kids up for appointments and whatever. And somehow it worked. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how. It's crazy to think about that, but somehow it worked.
Oh, it was the wild, wild west.
The bygone times of all of history until 25 years ago, basically.
Nice. Our boy Rand saying Washington now instead of Texas. He's telling us where he's from. John Cole says spend quality time with them at parks, camping, holiday in a different country. The stuff that dads do. Nice. Not let them sit on the Xbox or PS4. Is what John's also saying. Then Ryan Shields says outside, remote control cars and drones. My kids love it. That will keep them. That will keep them busy. Like here, one of the things too, especially with us, my myself and my daughters are self-proclaimed geeks, and we love like science fiction, pop culture, all that stuff. They've kind of seen me like take pictures of outside of like different things of like the collectibles I have, and they're like, "Can we do that with our figures?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So they do that, and they have fun. They make videos and all that stuff. Like I don't mind them using like iPad or an iTouch if they're doing, or an iPod if they're like making videos or making movies that are like using their creative side. I don't want them playing apps. I just want, if they're going to be doing something along those lines, like making like a young JJ Abrams at heart, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. It's like, so I've tried. My kids have slowly, and I wasn't into this at all, but I've always enjoyed it. We're getting into like fishing. Like they're coming home from school, and there's a pond in our neighborhood that I guess after all these years finally got filled with some fish, and they love it. It kills like I hate kills time, but it kills like an hour. They're definitely not old enough or ready to go do it by themselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, outdoor activities like like even today. I mean, it's raining here, so we won't do it. But when they were getting ready for the bus, they're like, "We go fishing again." And it's like those kind of things that you can set up in advance are cool, and especially if you do work from home, that maybe you take that lunch break and do that or whatever you have to do. But there's really a blur now between for parents like work time, play. Like you can pretty much if you have a cool employer basically, or you have a job where you're setting yourself up to figure it out, you can hopefully get some flexibility to do all that stuff. But some people, they're in an office from this time to this time, or they're on the road from morning and afternoon, and that's what they do. But yeah, I don't know. Summer as a kid, like, what was your favorite thing? Like, I loved camps. Like, I loved baseball camp. I remember soccer camp. I went to, as lame as it is, I went away to swimming camp like every summer for like a week, like a sleepaway camp. But I loved like the in town like baseball camp for a week where you just baseball all day, every day, like home run derbies and scrimmages and like pop fly contests. Like,
Yeah.
I love those things. Did you get to do that stuff?
I never really went to camps per se because when I was living in Illinois, a suburb of Chicago called Naperville, and can you hear me? I'm good, right? Or am I just?
I hear you.
Cool. Just so there was a bunch of kids in my neighborhood that we would just like the summer would happen Monday through Friday. It would be like, all right, Monday we're playing basketball, Tuesday we're playing baseball, Wednesday we're playing football, Thursday we're gonna go to the pond. Some of the kids were into fishing. I would kind of like use one of their like broken down fishing rods that they didn't use anymore, and we would do stuff. And then we like hit the 7-Eleven for some slushies or whatever. Friday we would just be like, all right, what do you want to do? And then we would play like manhunt or capture the flag or something along those lines where it was just outdoors. Like I don't even remember eating lunch sometimes. Like I know you're talking about like $5, get a soda and a slice of pizza. Like I don't even remember doing that. We were just like, let's just keep on playing, right? And that was so much fun.
Yeah, I remember being, because I don't remember I never worn like a watch in my whole life really, but I do remember you'd finally, and there was a place, the park that we used to go to called Dean Park, and they had a pizza place right there, and that was pretty much, we'd ride our bikes there and be there for most of the day. But I remember none of us really had a concept of what the time was. So at some point, someone would be like, I'm starving, and you'd be like, yeah, let's go. And you'd roll in, and to this day, I have no idea what time it was, but you would wait until like you couldn't move. You were cramping. You were so hungry and thirsty. And then what you said is also the other big one is Slurpees, dude. Like the ride home, like, oh, it's 4 o'clock or it's getting dark or getting late. Like, let's make sure we go get a Slurpee before dinner. Because once you're home, you're sort of back under your parents' tutelage. You're back under the rules. So when you used to be back out, and again, I don't know anybody watching this. Like, I don't think kids still do that, right? Like the kids just take off for like the day anymore. I doubt it.
I think as maybe they get older, sure, I've seen, but it's funny. They're like the white elephant because they're like, what are those kids doing by themselves,
Yeah.
walking on the street? Like, where are they
Yeah.
going?
And yeah, like a 14-year-old walking on the street. Like, I think it's probably, so the ages we're really talking about where is really like maybe 8 to like 13, right? Where you're pre-adolescent, but you have freedom all day. Because once you're 13, 14, 15, you might have a summer job or your high school sport. Like once I hit, I guess my sophomore year, I lifeguarded every summer and taught swimming, and then I did. Actually, my first 3 or 4 summers, I did construction, like landscaping and construction with this guy in town. So, like, once I was old enough, that's what I did. But for the age, probably I'm going to say 8 to 12 or 13, dude, that was it, man. You were just like you were out all day, and the only thing I had to make sure I did was mow the lawn, man. I had to mow our lawn every week. Like once I got that done, I was good. So I did it like whatever day I had, and I would have remember like the yellow Sony Walkman on, the Sony Sport, listening to like Belle Biv DeVoe, just mowing the lawn, getting ready to own the day.
Young MC, man, that was my
Yeah.
that was my cassette tape of choice when I was mowing the lawn. Adam, I totally agree with Adam. Adam says we have to adapt. No more being out until the street lights come out. One of the things too that I felt, and it happens today too with my kids, especially if they're hanging out at the neighbor's house. How cool is it when you have lunch somewhere else? It's like you're going to a restaurant.
Oh my god!
But like in the summertime, that was like the ultimate goal. Like you're playing at someone's house. You go to like, what do you want? You get back from like, maybe the soccer field or whatever, and you come back and you're like, you want to go to my house? Sure. It's 11:30, 11:45. And the mom goes, hey, Art, can you stay for dinner? I mean, can you stay for lunch? Like, I don't know. Let me ask. And then be like, or like, I'll call your mother. And then she'll be like, yep, he can stay. And so like, that was the biggest thing. Like, oh, and because, and my mom would do it too. If we had people over, they want to make it something special. So it'll be like, all right, let's bring out the tater tots and we're going to grill some hot dogs or something. You're like, yes, I hit the jackpot.
Dude, I remember when we only lived in Cleveland, Ohio for like 9 months. But when I lived there, we had, my good friends were in the neighborhood, maybe 3 streets over, these twins named Seth and Michael Volinsky, on the odd chance they're watching. And I used to play, same thing you said, we'd play over their house because it was 2 of them and me. We'd play football in the neighborhood and whatever we do. And then eventually it would turn out that lunchtime would come and, John, can you eat here? Same thing, they would call. And I remember like the first time it happened, and my memory's probably created it into one time, but I remember the first time it happened, and she made mac and cheese. And I was 100% have grown up on the Kraft mac and cheese, and I think you know where I'm going with this. It was the Velveeta mac and cheese, which to me, like, I got mac and cheese there, and she cut up hot dogs in it, which I'd never had either. And I was like, she's like, oh, it's mac and cheese. I was like, yeah, I love it. It's good. And I was like, this is the greatest individual morsel of food I've ever had in my whole entire life. What is this? And she was like, mac and cheese. And I remember like eating all of it and having seconds and going home and be like, Miss Volinsky makes the greatest mac and cheese ever. And my mom was like, nah, it's just Kraft mac and cheese. And I'm like, no, it's a yellow box, not a blue box. And I know like now we probably are mostly Kraft too, but like, man, the first time you had that liquid gold coming out of the pouch, and you like, it's like luxury cheese basically for an 8-year-old.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I love that. All right, we're gonna be wrapping up, but I like this right here: motocross parks, fun factory, bike rides, walks, bus and train trips. Whenever we can get outdoors and see that, it's awesome, Jason. And then also too, our boy Adrian. This is another thing. I had a key. He said I had a key to my parents' house when I was like 8. And he's also goes, hey, loving these different brick backgrounds that Finkel is using lately. Super trendy.
I tried it. It's like my deco. I went with the red brick the other day, and now this is like a faux flagstone. Yeah. So I'll take requests. There's a lot of bricks around the office building that I work in, and I'm looking across the street now. Maybe next time we'll go with a different brick style.
Nice. And lastly, Chris says, hey, going to do Minecraft camp at a college for my 11-year-old son. That is not only are you going to a sweet campus, but you're also doing Minecraft. So that's great. A lot of great love all of the responses. Make sure that you get up the book. It's out now. Perfect for Father's Day. Life of Dad. Barnes and Noble, Books A Million, Amazon, Target. You can go online and Target, Walmart. They have them.
And we're inching towards like the top of bestseller lists in terms of fatherhood. So if you're on the fence about this, go buy the book right now. We've got a lot of momentum. We've got, I don't know, dozens and dozens of dad bloggers and dad influencers out there helping us out. If not, in honor of what Adrian said, hit the bricks. You know what I'm saying? Buy the book or hit the bricks.
You too, man. Everybody take care. For John and myself, you guys have a good rest of the week. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.